We are live. This is the market update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. 2 words for you. Get involved. Get involved in crypto. Yes, after the Fed, everyone was like, okay, we should sell the fact. While profit taking is always good, it's actually time to be a pig. Yes, I know pigs get slaughtered. But staying with the trend is how you make friends. Stay with the trend. Now you're like, well, Bill, what trend? This episode is about the altcoin trend, about the future of technology on the blockchain, which has been a sorely abandoned theme thanks to FTX last year. Well, guess what? I'm bringing it back. XRP, want to see some charts? Cardano, want some evidence that the dip is done and it's ready to go up? Don't believe me? You'll like the charts. Stay here. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. We're trying to break a record and get to 300 likes. So if you're here, please hit the button. All right, Bull Runner here first. Dulio, welcome. GF, it's crypto time from Baltimore. Okay, Samad, do you think DOT is dead? No, it's not. And I got a chart that'll prove it. Harjo is here. Hello. Winter Park, Crypto Cash. It's crypto time. Brian, Fernando, Carlos, Sleazy Mix, welcome. Welcome. All right, Through the Wire, what's up? Reverend Flashback, Belgium is here, and Spain. Okay, Carpe Diem giving me some love for the show. Andre is like, Doge to the moon. Why not? Anybody talking about Doge? No. I don't think anybody's talking about XRP and Cardano enough, at least not in terms of them being like tech investments. Has anybody called XRP and Cardano tech stocks? Like tech stocks? No. Well, let's hope XRP is not like a stock or a security. The government has bigger problems. Is anybody talking about altcoins as tech investments? By the way, you turn on CNBC today and check out how other tech investments are trading. Google, etc. Apple. Flying. Altcoins are next. Hello from India at 1 a.m. Raj, we appreciate you staying up late. SEO from London, hello. Charlie S. Robert. Charlie's here early today. Thank you. Appreciate having everybody on the show, whether you're new to the show, you've been here for a while, you're new to crypto, you're in the right place. Okay, Ash13LD. Can you talk about the correlation between gold and the dollar? Absolutely. Okay, dollar and gold, both sort of like the opposite of each other, right? Dollar up, people prefer paper, gold down. Dollar down, people less interested in paper, more interested in hard assets, stocks, or speculating, gold up. Shizzy L, right? Nikolai, welcome. Zach, thank you. Congratulations on 2K subs. Got to put a 0 on that, baby. Get to 20K. Appreciate everybody who's here. Bart from Amsterdam is in the house. Lord Junta asking about the hash rate. Maybe we'll cover that in a future stream, right? All right. Somebody says we don't need Michael Burry. We have Noble, and I appreciate that as well. Okay, let's rock the news, which is almost like the crypto comedy hour. Berkshire Hathaway, the guys that passed on Google in 2004. Charlie Munger calls for a crypto ban in the United States. You know what? It's almost like someone's paying these guys to put this stuff out there as the market smokes higher as like a contrarian trap. It's like we don't need any more people from the establishment. Like Novogratz said that we don't need anybody over 75 or near 80 years of age to tell us what to do. You know, that probably got a lot of attention, but that's a little harsh because, you know, you can say, well, you know, if we get rid of those guys, we can get rid of the 50-year-old YouTubers. But what I'm saying is guys who are established guys who have made their money, guys who are on the top, they have no right to be telling anybody else what to do with their finances and their money. It's like, hey, bro, you made your money. Now let us make ours. How about that? And of course, when these guys are calling for, oh my God, it's a toxic asset, it's going up. Real estate was a toxic asset in 2009, and all it did was go up for the next 10 years. Ray Dalio, Bitcoin has been amazing for what it's accomplished in 12 years. It's actually 14. Ray actually went on to say that Bitcoin isn't going to do anything that Bitcoin promises it will do. So on one hand, he says, you know, Bitcoin has been a wonder. And then he says it won't continue. Now, you're not going to make any money fading Ray because he made so much money last year being short bonds and short the yen. The fact of the matter is somebody that big still doesn't believe in crypto. And he's not talking about anything beyond Bitcoin, right? In other words, all right, you don't think Bitcoin is going to provide XYZ solutions, but that doesn't mean digital assets, other digital assets, can't provide the type of, you know, wealth storing or tech investments or tech infrastructure. Ray forgot about all that. So it was a pro Bitcoin, not a pro Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Amazon is looking to hire Web3 staff for its cloud services. You know, Amazon did a partnership with Avalanche, and everyone's like, okay, yeah. Avalanche went up like one day. Like, no, you know, like, you guys don't get it, right? AI is going to power the metaverse. That's going to help Meta. Because again, who are you going to interact with in the metaverse, right? ChatGPT is like, you know, they're putting it in Microsoft Teams. I've got that somewhere. What do we got? Yeah, here we go. Microsoft just launched Microsoft Teams Premium powered by GPT for $7 a month. Okay, that's nice. I'm happy you guys can make money. Great. But you don't want ChatGPT in your work communications app. You want AI in the metaverse so you can walk into the Star Wars bar and talk to the creatures or however you like, right? The AI trade is the metaverse. Call me crazy. Naturally, the NFL agrees because they're doing their whole first Super Bowl metaverse. Because after all, you know, crypto is dead and should be banned and the metaverse doesn't exist anymore. You know, it's more interesting to talk about ChatGPT doing people's term papers than it is about talking to all the people in this stadium that will undoubtedly be driven by AI. You know, let's have the market update Super Bowl version with metaverse version of me doing some talking. And who knows, the metaverse version of me may also be able to rap, act, and do other things. I'm taking improv comedy lessons starting in mid-February. But who's not going to want to be in the metaverse? Like, you can talk to ChatGPT and be like, ChatGPT, what was the final battle of the Civil War? Okay, yeah, that's what we're using AI for? No. AI in the metaverse, and that's where the investment thesis is. Meanwhile, the crypto world just continues to act like we're in a bear market. Chainalysis says it's well capitalized amidst its latest workforce cut. So Chainalysis sells blockchain analytics to governments or other people that need to monitor the blockchain for our safety. It's funny. They want to get rid of crypto, but crypto forensics firm just lays off 900 people. 900 fewer people in crypto, thanks to SBF and friends. And this is just like 2019, where all the crypto institutions get bearish. They all have to capitulate on head count as the market goes up only. Seen this in Wall Street so many times, mainly because I've been caught in these layoffs. Like, I'm in bonds. I do well in the bear market. I do help these guys with charts. And then, you know, there are staff issues. I didn't get caught in that, but a lot of people did. The staff cuts come at the end. They're not bullish for the poor people who got cut, obviously, but it's ridiculously bullish for the market. Bank of China ex-advisor calls Beijing to reconsider crypto ban. Well, duh. You know, there's all these books and all these articles about Chinese companies have filed the largest number of AI patents. Okay. AI patents to do what? Have a taxi drive you from point A to point B in a robot car? Okay. That's nice. You know, is that a compelling investment thesis? Is that entertainment, education, information? Maybe. But AI inside the cryptoverse, I would argue, is the value play on AI. Because somebody's going to figure this out, right? Somebody is going to figure out there's going to be a walking, talking somebody inside Sandbox or Decentraland or some other metaverse, right? Whoever gets AI inside of their metaverse first, the whole space ignites. This doesn't even mention about how are you going to do commerce? How are you going to buy things in the metaverse? Like when you develop real estate there, what are you going to pay with? Swiss francs? Yen? What? Come on. People aren't getting this. They're just not getting it. But don't worry. The market will be their teacher. Hopefully they get to the market updates sooner rather than later. All right, let's jump into chat. Let's see who's here. Okay, Crypto Jedi putting it out there in the ether that I get 5K subs. Appreciate that, right? We have Brick Dreams is here. Steve J. Hello, Lucas, right? Slow Motron from Vermont is here. Welcome. Carlos. Choppy February. Somebody suggesting there could be a choppy February and then off to the moon in March. We'll go into detail on that. I think Bitcoin, as bullish as it is, may be range bound, and altcoins could take center stage for like a month and a half. In other words, alt season. There, I said it. Alt season, right? Like basically Ethereum and friends up only. Everybody thinks that the Fed was kind of a sell the fact. So first it was, I'll buy the dip. It dips. It's scary. It looks like the bear market. They don't buy the dip. Then it goes up more. Then they say, okay, this time I will buy the dip. And then there either was no dip or the dip was right before the Fed, which scared everybody, including me. And no one buys the dip. Then it goes up and everybody goes, okay, well, whatever I have, I'll sell because the Fed has said what it said and now it's sell the fact and it's not going to go up anymore. Wrong. Yes, you can have a flush out. Normally what comes next after this in a stage in a bull market, in my mind, is like the flash event. So Bitcoin stays, everything ramps, right? And then there's one flash event, spooks everybody, and then it just resumes. I know that wasn't drawn on a chart, but, you know, Bitcoin range, alts up. Then, whoop. Okay. Bitcoin range, alts up. Flash event. And then everything continues over the summer. Every time you have a flash event from here on out, I think, not investment advice, you got to be there. From this day forward, you need a flash event plan. I knew a guy, this is a true story. He used to always have like throwaway bids in. There was a flash crash in equities in 2010, glitch in the matrix. Market went down like 10% or some crazy thing. Everything crashed and then immediately came back. This guy worked out of London. All of his bids below the market got filled. And he woke up and everything was back where it was when he went to bed. He said it was literally like Christmas. This is how I think you're going to have to play crypto from here on out. It's going to be so fast and furious, you're going to need to be down there. In the meantime, sell the fact may just mean a pause in Bitcoin, although I think Bitcoin can still trade much, much higher. And altcoins may take center stage. Because if they're buying Web 2 and they're buying tech stocks and Kramer's losing streak is over, thank God, and it's BTFD and stocks, possibly with stocks headed for a new high, which is something I talked about in yesterday's stream, then altcoins are going with it. They're just going, right? All right. Crypto future. Ethereum has Shanghai Upgrade in March. This enables withdrawal. Can this dip? Can the dip take ETH to 800? And if not, this year, can ETH break 2,600? Okay, so if I think you see ETH 800 again, a nuke has gone off. Like, I'm not kidding. I do think ETH is going to break 2,600 over the summer, like easily. All right. Now, again, there's going to be this fundamental upgrade to Ethereum. That may be another attempt at people to sell the fact. Sell the fact is a psychological place that people go to if they can't deal with the fact that they either missed a rally or they can't figure out where to get in. The simple answer in bull markets is there is no answer about when to get in or where to get in. There is no perfect answer. Everyone's like, is it going back to where it was in December? No, because too many people wanted to go there. It went there in December because nobody wanted it to go there because the fear trade was high, right? So sell the fact is like checking out. I call it like the ignoring pathway. Don't ignore a bull market, because if you go to sleep on a bull market, it'll smoke higher. And when there are dips, even if they're scary, if you're ready for them, you're good. But in XRP and Cardano, which is coming up right now, along with other altcoins and stocks, maybe the dips already occurred. Like, seriously, like, who is saying, Cardano up only? Especially if they have a healthcare solution, which is what really intrigues me about Cardano. So let's talk about it. Let's do the market update. Yesterday, they got me. So Kramer got bullish. I was like, oh no. And then I pulled up the VIX chart where, this VIX structure is bullish for fear. And notice how this bullish momentum divergence, like everything bullish about this chart did not transpire. It's an indicator where, like, all right, if you have an indicator and it doesn't work, right? So if it's supposed to be create fear and the opposite happens, what does that tell you? It tells you that stocks can go up a lot, that fear is still too high. So unless something's going to change in the next couple of days, something that should have created fear didn't, right? Kramer's on the worst losing streak ever. The guy says buy the dip. He was right. I hope his losing streak is over. I hope it is, right? Because if it is, you're going to have shorts getting killed. This is the Goldman Sachs most shorted basket. So it's a group of stocks most shorted. This is Zero Hedge published this. So all the shorts getting annihilated. Just annihilated. Why? Because everyone's bearish equities. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to crash. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. I talk about a crash. It gets 175,000 views on TikTok. I go 2 steps to onboarding Bitcoin, or do you believe, or you should believe that you can learn crypto? 150 views on TikTok. That's all you need to know. That's the market update. Bye, everybody. Time to go to lunch. Just kidding. Stay with the show. Sometimes there's all these tidbits you need to know. Jay Powell says the word disinflation 13 times. In other words, he screwed up. Actually, he didn't screw up. He raised rates as far as he could raise rates without making the interest payment on the U.S. national debt unpayable. So shorts out, the Fed done. This has not translated over into altcoins yet. It has not. S&P monthly. Why does this matter? Well, because if you have a summer rally in equities, what happens if equities go to a new high? Is anyone talking about a new high in equities? Because I can draw it, right? It's right here, right? Wave 1 up was 2010 to 2020. Wave 2 down was the COVID correction. Wave 3 up was the hyperinflation liquidity party. Wave 4 down was the tightening cycle. And wave 5 up is everybody piles back in. Or as one trader I used to say, I worked for used to say, everybody in, everybody out, everybody back in again. Right? People don't own speculative risk assets. Everybody is talking about a crash. And when everyone's talking about a crash, you get a melt up. And when everyone's talking about a melt up, you get a crash. That's later. Let's trade today. S&P. GAN, we like odd numbered years in GAN. So I'm sorry, like we like to look at, say it's 2023, go back and look at years ending in 3. I went back to 2013. Okay. There was a dip in November of 2012. There was a dip in December, and there was a mini dip in February of 2013. Okay. That's mislabeled. That should be 2012. You get the point. Okay. There's the dip in November. There's the dip in December, and your baby dip off the Fed where everyone got spooked. Now S&P is headed for a big gap. Everyone's probably going to say, oh, it can't get through that. That's what everybody said about Bitcoin at 23K. Good luck fighting this. People are underinvested, and if equities can go up, altcoins can go higher. Junk bonds. Why am I talking about junk bonds? Because we're talking about altcoins. So let's talk about legacy junk. 9 bottom, reversal on the 4. So you get the first part of the trend. Then it looks like you're going to get the second part of the trend, but it reverses at a key point. That's how you would put the DeMark words, the DeMark code in English. Junk bonds, vertical, no one owns them. Treasuries. Okay, so U.S. government bonds, you want to own them or not own them? Well, I can make an argument both ways, but what I can tell you is there's a 13 bottom and a 9 bottom on the IEF ETF, which represents 7 to 10-year treasuries. This 13 bottom has been confirmed, and all you need is one more burst for this to smoke to the upside. By the way, this is a monthly chart, so you could have 8 more up months in bonds. Rates down, bonds up. Okay, so unless it's the Great Depression, rates are going to go down. Or they're going to stay the same. Most likely they're going to go down as bonds rally, which is amazing for crypto. So you might be like, well, crypto's up 40%. I missed it. No, you haven't. Because the process of having interest rates normalize is in the second inning of a 9-inning game. Second inning, people. Speaking of second or third inning, UUP, which is the ETF for the dollar index, down only, and never miss an opportunity to make fun of the dollar or the dollar index or people who think it's going to go up this year. They had their fun last year. Now we can just make tire tracks on their face, period. End of story. This is down only, right? 6 more down months in UUP. That includes this month. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You want to buy dollar index? Buy it in August when it's 10 to 15% below where it is now. So if dollar index is down only, crypto is up only, we just have to figure out how to trade it. So I've got another GAN parallel with 2011 that I like. And I just looked and checked Bitcoin for 2011. And it looks like starting in March, right around here in this 2012 zone, right? Bitcoin was like up sideways to upward. And then in June, it just went vertical. So when I pulled this out, I was like, I'm wondering if Bitcoin can continue to plod along while altcoins smoke to the upside. And then Bitcoin will catch up just like it did in 2020. And I'm wondering if this is actually the start of alt season, which hopefully no one's talking about because I'm talking about it, even though people should be talking about it. And the best time to talk about alt season is early. Steve J looking at sushi, right? Donato encouraging you to hit the like button. Okay. Norway is in the house. Welcome. Okay. Andre says, can the DXY still go to 160? Yes, if you look at a long-term horizon. Okay, dollar index at 160 is something I drew on a chart, and that is like totally unthinkable, right? In other words, people are like, oh, we want a crash, we want a crisis. Actually, no, you don't. No, you don't. For now, let's stay on track with crypto rather than any kind of disaster stuff going on. Spin is here. Welcome. All right. Holland is here. Good evening. Wrong again is right on time. Bangalore, India is here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Wrong again wants to look at total 3. I will. Ethereum dominance. Teacup and handle. This is the entire chart, like smushed together. It's a daily chart. Folks, I don't know about you, but it certainly looks like Ethereum dominance after this handle that was completely untradeable. Ethereum dominance can just go to 33%. And if ETH hits 1700 and starts to accelerate higher based on GAN work, it's just going to go. Right? Like people are like, oh, I'm waiting for a dip. Yes. The new definition of a dip could be anything under a 3% rally. Let me say that again. A dip from now on could be anything less than a 3% rally. So unchanged is a dip. A pause could be a dip. Now, you could have some shock event after everybody gets too bullish, but are we really there yet? Like, you had everybody sell it yesterday off the Fed, and it looked terrible, and I was scared. And then later in the day, somebody on the stream bailed me out and said, all right, Bill, can you look at the tactical charts and tell me where you think it's going to go? And that actually allowed me to sort of get back to the idea of 1650 for ETH. So everybody gets twisted around. I mean, you're looking at this market and you're like, hey, I'm the only person who's messed up over this market. No. It happens to everybody. I mean, I got thumbnails on my YouTube channels like up only. And then I'm like, oh my God, Jim Cramer's bullish. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? That's what you got to do. It's not that you're never going to be wrong. It's that you got to catch yourself quick, right? And say, what's the bull market's next trick? The next trick is this whole sell the fact thing. When the fact of the matter is, if you look at the ETH dominance chart, this thing can go up a lot. Okay. Arts, tomorrow is his birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Cardano, we talked about it. Guess what? Normally, when you have a DeMark setup, you have a set of conditions count 1 through 9. Okay. Like the high is higher than the high 2 days ago. Normally, the dip is on the 4 count. Right? So if there's going to be a dip, it'll be on the 4. And guess what? You had a big dip in Cardano and it came straight back. Conclusion, dip is over. Dip is over, right? You had 1, 2, 3 weeks to get this thing. Now, okay, yeah, I'm not saying it's never going to go down ever again. I'm not saying that, but it's been dipping for 3 weeks and they've been buying it for 3 weeks. So if they take out a DeMark resistance point at 46 cents, it's gone, right? This whole base, this is the time to be pounding the table on stuff like this. This is like value investing. Now, you can like this, you can not like this, but, you know, you're going to wake up one day, and my girlfriend, I just onboarded her to Coinbase yesterday, and she's going to see something that's like an ETH competitor for 40 cents. And the visuals on this, which of course have nothing to do with the market cap, people who onboard to Coinbase are going to look at this and be like, hey, let's get some of this. All these guys need is an announcement or a BitBoy video, and boom. XRP is the same way. The 4 count, there's your dip. You wanted a dip, you got the dip. You had to buy it in front of the Fed, which again is typical bull market stuff. The minimum retracement in XRP should be 56 cents. That was the high of the previous 4th wave. So XRP at 41 cents is almost a joke because a lot of other instruments went back to their previous 4th wave. And it's the worst kept secret in the whole world that, you know, the SEC is not putting these guys out of business. They're not. This token's going to be just fine. And this fast payment system idea is amazing. It's more amazing than ever because you can have a fast payment system built by the Chinese or the Russians or the Saudis or the Iranians, or you can have the one built by Ripple with XRP. I will let you choose. Avalanche partners with Amazon, should be absolutely up only. It takes out the previous fourth, which is confirmation that the downtrend is over for our friends that like confirmation. Done. Downtrend over. What's next? I don't know. How about 30? How about we go back to the whole post-Celsius rally, which is where the whole FTX debacle started from. It's currently at 22. Avalanche can't go to 30 because awkward silence. Because, right? Just like game on. Right? If Bitcoin's not moving, alts will be moving. If Bitcoin goes down, it could be because alts and ETH are smoking. Because I can't really come up with a reason to go down. Everyone's like, you know what? I'll get involved in crypto when the macro changes. Bro, the macro just changed. Jerome Powell said disinflation. The Fed statement talked about risks and employment, like mass layoffs. Like, you don't think he got a memo from the White House being like, dude, stop it. All the layoffs occurred around the inflation numbers and Fed meetings. So they could drive the point home and blame it on the Fed. They're done. I mean, they may not be done with 25 basis point rate hikes, but they're definitely done wrecking the whole world. So all this selling that was done in Avalanche below 20, Amazon bought all that crypto. Like, if you sold crypto, who did you sell it to? Solana. It's the same thing. Okay, everyone hates this. This was tied up in FTX, whatever. Okay, there's a DeMark moving average. It's sitting there. It's a bird on a wire getting ready to fly. Okay, all you need is one catalyst, and this thing goes back to 37. It doesn't matter whether you like it or you don't like it. It doesn't. This is an example of an altcoin that got destroyed during FTX. That's what it really is. Now, if you don't like the project because of its fundamentals, okay. But from a chart point of view, it's trading like something that everyone hates. When you're in the nascent state of a major bull market, the stuff that everyone hates goes up the most. Algorand, another BitBoy coin. Wall Street used to like this. They were going to use it for security tokens. Algorand has done nothing but dip for 3 weeks. BitBoy's on this. This thing closes a weekly. Let's get a weekly close above 26 cents. There's nobody home until 45. And they can't go there because why? You got a 13 bottom. You got a 9 bottom. You got big YouTubers who are into this. I mean, that's enough for a catalyst in a market where no one owns anything. No one owns the market. Is Polkadot dead? Hell no. Polkadot may just get started. Is this frustrating? Yeah, this is frustrating. I get it. But that's why you got this nasty dip on that weekly 4 count. That was ugly. You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, we're dropping this. I mean, everybody who bought Polkadot last week and some of the people who bought Polkadot the week before that and the people who bought Polkadot the week before that, at least at the higher end of the range, they all took some heat yesterday. You're like, wow, crypto's up 40%. And I'm down on Polkadot. How fun is this? It's not. This is what the bull market does, right? They frustrate everybody. Everyone gets pissed. Everyone quits. Everyone goes, I bought the wrong thing. I didn't buy it at the right time. I didn't buy enough. Don't let your head get messed up. All I know is if Polkadot takes out $7.42, it's gone. That's what I think. Because this whole idea about interoperability, the technology of the blockchain and Web3, all this stuff, Satoshi's vision, everybody forgot about it in favor of, SBF. Oh my God. And that's the market update. Okay. I got a certain amount of time to nail out some live TA. Okay. Carlos, I appreciate the love. Okay. Someone was asking about Flux. So let's go to DeMark work on Flux. All right. Wix, everyone's selling. It goes from 40 cents to $1. I don't think you can blame people for selling. Okay. The question is it going down? So Flux goes from 40 cents to $1, and you get all these wicks and everyone's selling. Now, not all altcoins are created equal, and I still believe in sector rotation. So clearly, people who were trapped in this are getting out. Honestly, the real inflection point in Flux is $1.27. So there's a lot of previous lows, a couple of previous highs, and it looks like people are in a hurry to sell. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a blow-off move to $1.27. They fooled me yesterday. They want to dip it or do whatever they want to do in these altcoins. Great. I'm not wavering again. You could get a dip middle of next week. There's always a flash event around the corner. That's an opportunity. Here, no one's interested in buying Flux at higher prices. Okay, but it's not going down. It's not going down. Harmony, okay, again, similar action, right? You get a 13 and a 9, no downward reaction. You get a correction and the trend restarts itself. Yes, they're taking profits today. Yes, there's resistance up here at 0.023, but is it resistance? It's not anymore, right? The ceiling from September just became the floor. So if they take it up and they bring it back, a lot of times, I'm telling you, when you get these green days with these wicks, that is a dip. A dip does not have to be a red candle. It can be up all the way back down. But if a key support point holds, it goes back up again. It goes back up again. I know it's easy to be bullish on an up day, right? But, I got a TikTok that's like, red means green. BTFD. Okay, HTR, okay, having a tough time, right? If I got the right symbol here. Okay, Matthias is like, what happened to gold? Okay, so with HTR, okay, this is actually a 180-minute chart. You have a 13 and a 9 bottom. So if it's going to go up, it's going to go up now. That's how I would do it. Like if this has got hope, you're going to see it soon. Okay. Okay, let's look at GLD. Okay. So GLD is gold in the stock market. I did notice that there's this big unfilled gap, like right here in GLD around 176. So the question is to what's happening in gold. It's filling a gap. And you've got sell the fact, which I think is absolutely dead wrong. Yes, gold did run up in advance of the Fed. But the dollar is not going back up anytime soon. So what did I say about like flash events? Like, this was a little emotional before the Fed, and then it comes off, and then it's going to scare everybody, when in reality, all it's doing is filling in a gap. Is filling in a gap. Okay. Still with Zcash. Yes, I still like privacy. Okay. I think the 100x universe is GLDN and BARC. I work there now. Okay. There's no way you're going to do a transaction in the metaverse without privacy. So this is a 90-minute chart of Zcash. Let's go to like a weekly. Okay, it's got the same read. You continue to see these dips and have people buy it. I don't know if Zcash can scale. That's the risk in Zcash. I do like Zcash long term. I think if you bought it and tucked it away, right? In terms of like, what's the What's the big pick for the next cycle? Well, I haven't changed my mind about that since I discovered this in September. Okay, on Wolf Financial today, right, a Twitter space, we covered something called Block 47. Block 47 is a project inside the Gold Retriever universe. It uses NFTs to put high-end jewelry like Rolex watches or exotic diamonds on the blockchain. So you can trade them, own them in verifiable ways using everything that's good about crypto to provide liquidity to a market where there's a huge amount of volume. Like the diamond volume on 47th Street in New York is amazing. And I heard my boss say today that people could be able to buy diamonds at wholesale prices instead of going to K Jewelers and getting ripped off. They could buy diamonds through the Block 47 subsidiary of Gold Retriever. Oh, and why does this matter? Well, because when Gold Retriever, when there are jewelry sales through Block 47, revenue from that feeds back and is used to buy back GLDN in a legal compliant way. And then the volume created by the GLDN buyback creates a PAX Gold reward for holders. So if you want to get involved in the jewelry market, you can own GLDN and let that universe turn around and pay you in PAX. By the way, when people go to trade water, that's the BARC token. The native token of the commodities universe will be GLDN. There will be GLDN chain. So the GLDN will be like the ETH of the commodities DEX. So what will happen one day is when people buy water, which we've got rights to out of Greenland, people as in, I don't know, desert states, places where they don't have a lot of water, maybe places where they have a lot of oil, but not a lot of water, wink. When those people have to start buying water, they got to go to the ecosystem. They got to buy GLDN, and then they can buy BARC because water will be priced in BARC, just like NFTs are priced in ETH. So people who buy water will need to buy GLDN, and Gold Retriever itself will be doing a GLDN buyback based on volume in diamonds and jewelry. That's why I went to work there. That's why I own the token, etc. Etc. Okay. Bill, what do you think of the revelation that California is dumping 25% of their fresh water out to sea instead of filling the reservoir? Well, I haven't seen that news, but here's what I do know. Is there any limit to how much governments are willing to control your life? Is there any limit to that? No, there isn't. Okay. So on my Twitter, I think I retweeted something. We can bring this up. So this is the Chancellor of the Exchequer in England. I think this is a ex-Goldman guy who is basically saying that the UK, which is the only NATO country technically in a recession, they're going to do what they have to do and spend money that they don't have to comply with the climate accord. Now, it's okay that we want to take care of the planet, but it's not okay to have guys like this telling us what to do. You want to take care of the planet? Let's invest in a mechanism to get water from people that have it to people who don't. Let's do that rather than this guy telling you what to do. Because again, what's their track record, right? Like this is the World Economic Forum agenda involving them telling you what kind of car to drive, and you can put down the whey protein. You're now on bugs, bug protein, bug powder, bug salad dressing. You want these guys telling you what to do? Or do you want to do Gold Retriever, BARC, crypto, Bitcoin? You pick. You pick. You pick. Okay. Let's see if we can get AZRO. Okay. Can't get that up here. Okay. not coming up here. We'll look at the comments and take care of this later. Okay. Bart says bug off. Okay. Alexandro said, Bill, he is the prime minister. Sorry. He is the prime minister. So the prime minister of England, America's greatest ally, wants you to eat bugs. Crypto, get involved. Got to cut it short today. Think about dips and have a plan. You don't have a plan, stay with the market update. We'll help you make one. I'll see you tomorrow.